So Sony has released the first major update for the PS5, and this update is all about improvements, some new features, and even some hidden features that Sony hasn't even disclosed. One of the main highlights of this update is to be able to store your PS5 games to an external hard drive. This is pretty handy because the PS5 out the box has about 600 gigabytes, which is not enough. Now, unfortunately, you cannot play the games off the external hard drive. You have to transfer it back to the internal PS5 SSD storage in order for it to take advantage of the speeds and the capabilities of the PS5, which makes a lot of sense. Sony stated that this is faster than actually re-downloading your games, and also that varies on your connection too as well. So yeah, so this is a welcome change nonetheless. That's why you guys need to have your external hard drives. I'll throw a link in the description to some of my favorite external hard drives. This update does not have the PCIe M2 SSD expansion, so you cannot be able to install an M2 drive on your PS5 and be able to store your games and play them. That's going to be coming towards the summertime, so make sure you guys subscribe if you're new around here if you guys want to see that video. Now, this feature should have been here since day one, but you can finally cross-gen share play. So PS4 and PS5 players can now share play together while chatting in parties. So PS5 players can now share play something, and the PS4 player can see that share play, and of course they can interact, play the games with you. And it's just so weird because the PS4 has PS5 remote play, so you can play your PS5 games on your PS4 via remote play. So it was just kind of weird how you couldn't do that through the share play, but thankfully, thanks to this update, you could be able to do so cross-gen share play. You have request to join game sessions. Basically what this means is it's a section of your friends' joinable game sessions will now appear on both consoles, the PS4 and PS5, and just basically just colliding the both sides of PS5 and PS4 together, because it was just always weird because you can't, like, if you was on PS4, that person couldn't see your screen and you couldn't invite that one because it was just like, it was weird, but you can join the same chat. It was just like so half-baked. But thankfully Sony is addressing these complications. Now, one of my favorite features of this update, improved game base. You guys know I've been very vocal about the game base on PS5. I think it's just a waste. They should just have them separated, but it just has been improved for quicker access to important content and features. So now you can switch between parties and friends, and you can see your existing parties, see who's online, and alongside with that you can see who's online on PS4 or PS5. I feel like this is unnecessary because you're going to see the icon and obviously you're not doing nothing because it doesn't say a game, but nonetheless it shows that you're on PS4 or PS5 alongside with the icon of your system. Alongside with that, you have disable game chat or adjust players volume. I love this feature. This is my second favorite feature. You can now adjust the player's volume. So without telling them to decrease or increase their mic volume, you can do that yourself. This is very handy because it's always that one person with a low mic and then that person with a really loud mic. So you could be able to balance it and have it fine-tuned to your likings. Next up, you have game update pre-download. This is nothing too exciting. This is only enabled by the developers. So let's say, for example, the next season of Call of Duty is coming out. Instead of you waiting all this time to download a patch for that game, the developers can set a time to allow the user to download that patch, and then whenever it's time to play it, you'll be able to play it right away. So let's say, for example, Call of Duty comes out with a new season on Friday. You can download that patch on Thursday, and then they can enable it on Friday. So you're basically playing the latest version of that game immediately after the update release. Next, you could customize your game library. This is something that should have been there since day one. You could hide your games, you could search your library, or library. People always kill me for saying library. Now it's going to be easier than ever before to find your content and personalize your view of your game library. Screen zoom, my favorite feature. No, I'm just kidding. Screen zoom, you could be able to magnify the screen to suit your preference. So if you cannot see certain things, sometimes it happens all the time. I can't see a certain asset of a game. You could be able to zoom it in by pressing the PS button and the square button together, and you could be able to zoom into the content, and of course you can magnify it using the left or right stick. So nice feature, none too exciting, but it can come in handy to, when it comes down to certain games, or maybe a developer could throw an Easter egg. This should have been there since day one. It's on the PS4. Shouldn't be no reason why it wasn't on the PS5, but hey, it's here nonetheless. You have the new trophy settings and stat screens. Now, I'm not really too crazy into trophies, but hey, you do you. You have a new screen, new settings, knock yourself out. And then you have some new features going on the PlayStation app, so you could be able to join multiplayer sessions on PS5 from the app, manage your PS5 storage, and then you could be able to compare your trophy collection with friends. You could be able to sort and filter things on the PlayStation Store. And across the board, we just have improvements through the app, through PS4, PS5. Now, two things I noticed right away. If you go into the screen and video in the HDR section, you have a new option called on when supported. So this option here is very handy instead of you switching it back off, going back and forth. So this is just less, of annoyance to have. So having it on when the application is supported is very handy instead of turning it off and then back on and stuff like that. And then also, if you go into system HDMI, you have a new option called One Touch Play. So if you turn on your PS5, your TV or whatever device that's connected to the PS5 will automatically turn on. So very simple feature that should have been there since day one, but it's here nonetheless. And yeah, I used to always find this annoying. Like I'm turning on my PS5, but my TV is not turning on. But when I turn off my TV, the PS5 turns off. But I actually use my TV remote to control my PS5. If I'm watching YouTube or Netflix, I can be able to just use my TV remote. And there you guys have it. That is the first major update for the PS5. I still want to see themes, and I still want to see colors implemented. I want more gestures on the DualSense so be able to double press the PS button to go back to your previous app. There's a lot of stuff that I really want to see on the PS5, but this is still a solid update nonetheless.